The Narinder Kaur Show, the lighthouse for women. Narinder Kaur is a dynamic host and speaker in the world of women development, surviving the depth of hurts and depression. Narinder is indeed a survivor towards self-awakenings and opportunities. She anchors her private show, the Narinder Kaur Show, online, followed by many around the globe. This show is a lighthouse for women to sail through heavy storms. Subscribe to her channel. You'll be glad you did it. Hello everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Today, welcome to the Narinder Kaur Show, the lighthouse for women. So today I would like to congratulate all of you for happy Karwa Chauth and आज मौसम बहुत अच्छा है, आज बारिश हो रही है. So मैं तो अपना कॉफी का मग साथ में लेके बैठी हुई हूँ because ये शो मेरी कॉफी के बगैर नहीं चलता है. So whosoever is watching my show, please grab a cup of coffee or tea, whatever you like, because today we have a very, very special guest from US, Pennsylvania. And any guesses? Any guesses? Who is coming on the show and who is brightening the light on the show today? So you have to wait for the guest. She is there on the backstage. I'm taking her on the boat right now, straight away. But usse pehle, if you have any questions, please do in the comment box because today's show is very, very special and she has a story. She is coming out from a very, very background of drug addiction to an author, to a transformational coach. So if you have questions, please write it down in the comment box. We will be taking the questions and answers from her straight away at the end of the show. So stay tuned with us. Don't go away. She is here only. And let me welcome my guest. Hello, Amanda. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you so much for having me here.
Awesome, awesome. People are there. People are watching you, and we welcome all. We welcome all the guests, and we welcome Amanda for on the show. She is from Pennsylvania, USA, and all the way she's. It's there. What's the time, Amanda? Over there, 10:30.
Yeah, it's 10:30 in the morning.
Wow. 10:30 in the morning, so on Sunday, and it's 8 o'clock here in India. What a time difference. Interesting, yeah. So let me just tell you the background about her little bit, and then we will listen from her only directly because she's our guest and we want to listen her story and how she is doing it, how she is helping a lot of women, helping a lot of people. Let's wait. So she is a speaker, she is a podcaster, she is going to publish to be a published author in November, and she is a transformational coach. Wow. So let me just give you one quotation for you that we are stronger than we think we are. We have courage that we don't think, we don't recognize even until we need it. So we are equal to challenges that we haven't even imagined yet. So welcome, Amanda, on the show, The Lighthouse for Women.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great. So, Amanda, can you please throw some light that about your past and about your history, and then how you are on a mission and how you are helping a lot of people in your mission?
Yes, so I will tell you the shortened version of my story because it's quite long, but the pivotal moments are, so I'm a child of divorce at the age of 15. My parents split and my mother was my best friend and she left. So I was left with my father, which was fine, but it left me feeling like I wasn't good enough. So the narrative of my brain and everything around me was telling me I'm not good enough and that I don't deserve love and that I all these bad negative things, and I didn't really have any true guidance coming into adulthood. So what happened was is I ended up in a lot of toxic relationships, abusive relationships, friendships that with women and men who didn't have my best interests at heart, and I was making choices based on what I thought that I should do to keep these people in my life because I didn't want to be abandoned again. So that led me down this path of just self sabotage, the constant need for outside acceptance, And eventually I made a choice that put me behind bars. And because I was so concerned still with what other people may think if I didn't go through with something, even though I knew before I got behind bars that this decision was wrong. My intuition, my gut, everything in me was telling me, don't do this, like get out of this scenario. But I pushed through and stayed on that path because I didn't want to lose my friend at the time. And after getting out of jail, it didn't like that wasn't unfortunately that wasn't my final wake up call. I kept going down this path and eventually wound up in a relationship with a narcissist, and that was very, very hard for me to get out of. I have a daughter with him, so I was trying to create a family for her, and I felt that I needed to stay to keep things good for her. But at the end of the day, I was miserable. I wasn't the best version of myself. I was still using, substances to make myself feel better, like alcohol and things like that. And I was, not being true to myself still. I was still listening to outside influences. So eventually I had enough and I did leave him. And in doing that, though, I didn't allow myself to heal. So it's like I left him and then I kind of just stayed in that state. And he was still a part of my life. I didn't make that full separation like I should. Well, I don't want to say should, but like I could have, I guess. And so then I got with my husband and I was still listening to these outside voices. My ex is one of them, who was telling me he doesn't love me, was telling me that I could do so much better. And I was listening to all these outside influences still. And I wasn't accepting my husband's love the way I knew I should have back then. And so I was pushing him away. I was lying to him. I was believing other people over him. And eventually I almost lost everything because of this self-sabotage and this constant narrative in my head that I don't deserve anything good because I'm a felon, or because I've been abused, or because I have, kids to other men, whatever I was telling myself that day. And, in this moment, I wanted to end my life. I had enough and I said, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep living this way. And, in that exact same moment of wanting to end my life, I had my wake up call. I had hit, finally, I think I have hit rock bottom for the last time throughout my life. And I said to myself, no, like this has to stop. I deserve good things. Why do I keep allowing myself to fall victim, so to speak, to this negativity in my life? And so I reached out for help. I went to my husband. I said, please, like, help me figure this out. I don't want our marriage to end. I love him so much. We are still together. And, but this was 2 years ago. And this is where I was 2 years ago. And so with those limiting beliefs, it was a lot of self help, I want to say. So I was doing a lot of research and just figuring out, what can I do to figure out, who am I? What do I want out of life? What are my values? What are my boundaries? Like, forget all the shoulds, forget all of what society or people around me are telling me. Like, what do I want? And then that's how I started to find affirmations and ways to retrain my brain to think better and have those boundaries and actually stick to them. Because I can say I have boundaries all day, anybody can, but unless you're living according to those boundaries, they don't actually exist. So it was hard for me, and it's still a journey. I'm still on the journey. But from that wake up call and a couple years later, get to today, I decided that I want to share my story with the world. I want to tell people that it's okay to have a past that maybe isn't in your favor, or that you have a criminal record, or you've been abused. It's okay, and you can recover, and you can have good things in your life. So
That's amazing. That is beautiful, actually. So,
thank
can you
you.
please throw some light upon narcissist? So, do you you're writing the book on domestic violence, if I heard about that? What is the main this motive of the narcissist? How do you categorize that he's a narcissist and the person is a narcissist? So, can you please throw some light on that?
Yes, so the book that I'm a part of will be out on November 1st, and the chapter I wrote in this book was actually all about overcoming abusive relationships. And it's the love story of me and my husband, essentially, and where I came from to where I'm at now. The reason, so I don't really know the textbook definition of a narcissist. I just know that it's a person who believes that they're right all the time, that you are not good enough. They will belittle you. They will make you feel like you are just insignificant. And that does not mean that my narcissist, he didn't hit me or anything like that, but I'm sure that that happens. And he just anytime something I guess, to put it in perspective, to make it make sense. So with my daughter, if something happens with her, and he finds out, it's my fault. So it's my fault when my daughter gets sick. It's my fault that our daughter has a learning disability. It's my fault that this whatever. I mean, the sky, he could wake up in the morning and the sky could be a different color and the road was coming to an end, and that would be my fault. So that is my experience with a narcissist, and I still deal with it to this day. It has not just vanished. He still interferes and or tries to, but now that I have these boundaries in place, he's no longer has the ability to take me down. So before, like a couple years ago, if he would text me something, absurd or, blaming me for something, it would have sent me down a spiral, which would have wound me giving up and saying, I can't do this. I give up, and now it's okay. I feel this emotion. I know who he is now, and I know I can't change him, because that was a huge lesson for me to learn too, is I can't fix people. And so now I allow myself to feel whatever emotion he evokes. Like if it's anger, I cry, I scream, I get it out, but then I move on and remind myself, okay, like he has no control over me anymore. I can move forward. This doesn't have to take me out.
That's beautiful. In fact, I have written the chapter, Are You in a Toxic Relationship, in my book, and how to get out of the toxic relationship. So, this is purely there in my book as well, The Phoenix from Ashes to Rebirth. Because what are the signs, symbols of a narcissist? Are you with a narcissist? And then what are the symbols? And then what are the solutions? So, problem based and solution based is there in this.
It's
So I've
awesome.
covered it in two chapters, in fact. And so, what was the limiting belief in you and how did you come out of it when you were in an earlier stage? And then you broke out that limiting belief of yours. How did you do that?
Yes.
What was that incident that you can turn around your life and you can change your life for the better?
So my limiting beliefs, I mean, there were so many. I think that's all I had were limiting beliefs about myself. And the main one is that I'm not good enough. So in order for me to come from a place of I am good enough is an ongoing process. So one of the things that I did was I started to journal. So I would write down, okay, why am I feeling this way? And just really look at, okay, so if I'm thinking I'm not good enough, what are the reasons? And then are those reasons actually there? Like I'm not good enough. Why? Because I'm a felon or because I've been abused. But that doesn't mean I'm not good enough. That's just something I'm telling myself. And turning that narrative into I am good enough, and then telling myself that every single day, I am enough, I am enough. And eventually, it became like to this day, if I have that thought that I am not good enough, my brain goes, wait, why? You are good enough. So it's just simply changing the narrative. Like, really, it is, because we are all good enough no matter what we've been through. We can have good things in our lives. And it's just taking a moment to pause and really reflect on you and why you're having those thoughts about yourself, and then changing that narrative into something positive.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. So, Amanda, tell me about something that you are stronger than what you think and have the life that deserve. Can you please throw some light on that? That you have a tagline that you are stronger than what you think.
Yes. So, when this came about after I started reflecting and looking at things in hindsight and what I've been through. And, I've been abused. I've been, to jail. I have given two daughters up for adoption. Like I've been through a lot, but here I am sitting here with all of you today. So I must be pretty strong. So therefore, that means that everyone is stronger than you think. You think that something's going to take you out. Like if, I don't know, I can't think of an example. Let's say that you're in an abusive relationship, for example, and you think, oh my goodness, like I'm never going to be able to leave this person. I'm not strong enough, but you are, and you can. And we are so much stronger than we believe. Like look back at your own lives. Like just look back. Like what have you been through? What have you overcome? And say and tell yourself, wow, I'm really strong because you are. So
Correct.
that is why I say that.
That's amazing. So, what's your schedule? How do you plan your day, and how do you handle all the things?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't even know. Um, but typically,
Being a
so
female, the kids, and then work, and then schedule, and coaching. How do you do that?
yes, so it's a lot to take in. My coaching is new, so that hasn't really taken over my calendar quite yet. But with my day job, I set it up with my boss because she's amazing and very flexible. So she allows me to work 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. So after 2, I'm free to do my podcast. I'm free to do calls. I'm able to spend time with my family because since I'm done at the day job at 2, typically by 4 or 5 o'clock, I'm done,
Oh,
and so it's nice. And so that's kind of how I've been balancing it now. But I will say I do get overwhelmed quite often. So what I do when I'm feeling that is I say, okay, Amanda, like where are you overstretching yourself? And then look at my calendar and block off times so that I'm not getting bombarded with too many things at once. Because when I first launched my podcast, I was interviewing 5 people a week and I was like, this is too much. So
this is
I
too
had
much.
to recognize, where my boundaries are with that. So
Yes.
it's a lot to juggle
It
though, for
becomes
sure.
it becomes too much at times when
Yeah.
then it gets overwhelming feeling. So it's
Yes.
better to be in that control, so that uh, slowly the smoother race will be on.
Yes.
So that's how my theory is. So that's why I do weekly shows only, because I'm working as well, so I get time on Sundays. So I planned out for Sundays only.
That's really smart. Yeah, I changed mine. I used to interview people. I think it was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I had like a morning slot and an evening slot, and I was like, I can't do that morning slot anymore. So I guess what I took it out. And until I'm ready to be able to do that, like once I'm able to leave my day job, or maybe I get some more flexibility in there, then yeah, I can open that back up. But it's protecting those boundaries is so important when you're looking at what
How
you do every
important
day.
are boundaries? So you have just said that boundaries. How important are boundaries in life for a woman? I can say that healthy boundaries. How important is this?
It's one of the most important things you need in your life. I mean, without boundaries, you're going to get taken advantage of. You're not going to be able to recognize negative things trying to come into your life, and like I was for so long. Then you start to see, oh, like why are all these bad things happening? But it's because you allowed them in. Like you didn't have the
Yes.
boundaries in place to fend them off, so to speak. So they're so
Yes.
important.
Healthy boundaries are really very important to, so that you won't be taken for granted for the whole of your life. If you actually start giving the things to you to another person, then you will be taken for granted the whole of your
Mhm.
life. So please be aware of that. Whatever you're not liking it, just stop that, say no. Otherwise it'll be difficult afterwards to handle all the things. To
Yes.
take control back is very very difficult. First thing is, try to say no in the things whatever you are not liking it. So next is, tell me something about hope dealer, and as a speaker, what topics on that what you speak?
Yes. So the hope dealer thing was kind of a placeholder while I was trying to figure out the direction of where I was doing things. But I get told all the time that, when people listen to my podcast or catch me on someone else's show, that they inspire them, that I inspire them or give them hope or something like that. So it's like, I thought that was perfect because that is what I do. I deal hope because I feel that no matter what we've been through, we can have the life we imagine. So I want to spread that message of hope to the world. And I speak on boundaries, I speak on self love, self acceptance, and also I am going to start speaking on topics around formerly incarcerated people because I do want to go into. Oh, thanks, Vince. Sorry, saw his comment. I want to go into the jails and prisons and speak to men and women who are still incarcerated and give them hope too, because that we need more of that in the world, and we need more people speaking out for those who seem to be voiceless.
Wow. Vince has sent a message. You definitely inspire a lot of people, Amanda. Wow. On
Thank you,
YouTube.
Vince.
Great. That's nice. Very nice. Thank you, Vince, for the inspiring message. And we would like to know, how do you get your me time? What do you do in your me time?
Well, I mean, when I have
One of
it.
the very important thing um, in life, and it's really needed. How do you get that, and how do you how do you categorize, and how do you take out your me time?
So me time is something that I've always struggled with. I've always felt that if I'm not doing something for somebody else, I'm not being productive. So a lesson that I learned recently was that I have to have me time. So I do make time for myself. Every day I make sure I'm standing up, I'm getting myself water, I'm feeding myself because I won't. Um, so just make those just basic things. And also, when I have extra time for myself, like if I take a day off from my day job or my calendar just for some reason is more open, honestly, I love to clean my house. I love to have a clean home. I love to relax on the couch and watch a good show that maybe my husband doesn't enjoy before he gets home from work. Things like that. That's what I enjoy doing. And since implementing that into my life, I feel that I show up as a better version of myself because I am taking care of me too.
Wow, that's lovely. That's lovely. So, audience who are listening to us, you have time to ask questions to us, because we can put some 5 minutes of question answer rounds. So people can do in the chat in the comment box, and they can send their questions. We can ask from Amanda straight away. And tell us something about what message you want to go give to the society today, to everyone.
Yes. So I always say to everyone that, you're stronger than you think, like I've said earlier, and that no matter what you've been through, I can't say this enough, no matter what you've been through, you can have the life you imagine. And to, affirmations are a huge part of my self-love, again, acceptance, tripping over my words, my self-love and acceptance journey. And I'll share my favorite one with everyone, and that is that I am an intention and what I want is waiting for me.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So life is a journey, and it all depends upon you. How do you want to take it? So God gives you choices. God gives you a beautiful journey. So it's up to you how you choose it, whether you want to take it as a problem or an opportunity in the issues. So I've got one more comment in this. Okay, Vince is sending one more message. Let's see. So we are way stronger than we think. I love that, Amanda. Thank you so much, Vince. Vince is very active, and you can very, very nice. Thank you for making
Thank you,
us
Vince.
much, much better today, and for this show. Great, Amanda. Right. So one more question from my side, that you like you are working as well, and you are doing coaching as well, and this and taking care of kids as well. So for being a woman, how a man how your husband support in your life?
Oh, my husband is my best friend. He's my everything. He supports me. I mean, he's the editor of my podcast. He's in my Facebook group and be like, "Hey, like, why haven't you accepted this person yet?" I'm like, "Oops, didn't see it." So he's always by my side, helps me. Like if I have an interview I need to do when the kids are home, He'll watch them for me. He is my hugest support, and I would not be able to do this without him. Like, he's everything. So couldn't say enough. Can't say enough.
Wonderful. That's lovely. That's lovely. Wishing you all the best for your happy married life. And what is the best thing you love about him?
Oh man, that's a really hard question. What do I love most about him? I really love
He
his.
must be listening to you, or otherwise he will listen to you, so that he can also know that, na, what is the best thing you love about him?
I absolutely love. I don't know what the right word is, but his ability to see things through other people's eyes. Like, he's not one of those people who just sees things on the surface. He's able to see it like, okay, well, like, even if I'm like, babe, like, I can't believe this person said this, he'll be like, but Amanda, you don't know what they're going through, and it didn't even come off across as mean to me. Like, he helps me stay in line and in check, and I love his ability to see things, I guess, like, full circle. And he's really good judge of character too, which I don't possess that ability all the time. So
That's amazing. That's so lovely. He can watch the show afterwards and he can listen whatever you are saying, so that you also get to know, isn't it?
yeah.
Awesome. So thank you, everyone. I believe now no more questions are there, because today is Karwa Chauth festival in India. So people, so a lot of women, they are fasting for their husbands for their long life. So it's a tradition in India. So we everyone is celebrating that. So lots and lots of love to all of you. Lots of best wishes. So take care. Goodbye. See you soon. Before going, I'm playing one video. Don't go before watching it. Take care.
Bye.
Right. Bye bye. And here is the video. Take care.
You can have it all. You just can't have it all at once. Sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. Today, we have a very special guest from New York, USA. And it's an honor for me to welcome Patricia Prince. Incredible guest, Narinder Kaur, Alexandra from Austria, Vienna. Hi, Winnie.
Knowledge I have going forward.
Why this creation is taking so much of time, and the sixth day was not complete. So God said, this beautiful creation's name is God. I'm Narinder Kaur from the majestic state of Delhi, a single mother to a 100% special child, is on mission to rediscover million women's lives to get back to their true self. Proud women to the Queen of Rediscovery.
I think she is an absolutely extraordinary woman. She has a mission for helping other women. I am very blessed to have her in my life.
I've been given a second chance, and I want to make that difference in the world.
Sacrifice, love, compassion defines her. Sometimes a mother, sometimes a daughter, sometimes a sister, and so on. Sometimes a stranger. मेरा mission है to help 100,000 women to raise the phoenix in themselves and live a supremely empowered life.
She has blessed completely. She is a pure consciousness. She is a pure soul who has rediscovered myself. This woman power has been unleashed.
All right. Bye for now.